My name is Leah, and for 3 years, I was faithful to a man who thought he had me locked in. When Daniel and I first met, it felt like something out of a storybook. Leah, he'd whisper on our late-night drives, hand on mine, it's you and me against the world, always. And I believed him, because he made me feel safe, chosen, loved. We built vision boards together. He'd circle the dream house we'd one day buy, trace his finger along the pictures of places we'd travel, and tell me, we're unstoppable. And for a while, we were. But then the cracks appeared. One night, a text lit up his phone. A name I didn't recognize. "Who's that?" I asked. He laughed, sliding his phone into his pocket. "Relax, baby. Just a colleague. Don't overthink." And because I loved him, I swallowed my doubts. The signs grew louder. Lipstick on his shirt. "Daniel, what's this?" He kissed my forehead, grinning. "Hug from one of my sister's friends. You know you're the only one I want." But deep down, I knew better. The man who once planned surprises started forgetting my birthday. The man who once held my hand in public started walking ahead of me. The man who once said, "always," began disappearing into nights he never explained. Still, I stayed, because I remembered who he used to be, because I thought loyalty could fix what love had broken. But Daniel thought he had me locked in. He thought my loyalty was a leash, that no matter what he did, I would stay. What he didn't know was that while he was busy playing his games, I was watching. The hotel receipts in his jacket, the late-night messages half erased, the GPS routes his car couldn't hide. Piece by piece, I gathered it all. Not to confront him yet, but to remind myself that my pain wasn't imaginary. The breaking point came on our anniversary. I set the table, his favorite meal. I wore the dress he once said made me unforgettable. Candles burned low as I waited. Hours passed. When he finally stumbled in, he smelled of another woman's perfume. He tossed his keys on the table and sank onto the couch, scrolling through his phone. "Daniel," I whispered, "you forgot our anniversary." Without looking up, he muttered, "Work's been crazy. You know I love you, babe. Don't start." And for the first time, I didn't cry, because I already knew. That night, while he slept soundly, I opened the folder I had hidden away. Receipts, screenshots, messages, every lie preserved in black and white. And as I looked through it, I realized I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't even sad. I was free. The next morning, I placed the folder on the kitchen table. "Daniel," I said firmly, "I know everything." He smirked, leaning back in his chair. "You're being dramatic again, Leah. You'll forgive me, you always do." But when he flipped through the folder, his face drained of color. He looked at me, really looked at me, and whispered, "Don't leave me, please. I'll change. I can't lose you." And for the first time, I saw the truth. Because while he was out proving who he was, I had learned who I was. And I wasn't the woman who stayed. I walked out that day with nothing but my dignity. And it was more than enough. Here's the twist. Months later, I met someone new. A man whose words matched his actions. Who didn't he need to beg me to believe him because he showed me every day that I could. And Daniel, I hear he still talks about me. Tells people I was the one who got away. But the truth is, I was never his to lose. He just never deserved me. Now, he drifts from woman to woman, but none of them want him for who he is. They want his money, his status, his connections. The man who once thought he had me locked in is now the one trapped. And me? I am finally free.